The Whisper of Blackwood Creek. Date: October 14th, 2024. Location: Gifford Pinchot National Forest, Washington. Elias Thorne's voice was trembling. Elias was no amateur. He was a cold case investigator with 200,000 YouTube subscribers and a morbid obsession with the Blackwood Triangle. Over the last 70 years, 32 people had stepped into that section of the woods. None had ever stepped out. Not so much as a shoe or a stray fiber of clothing had ever been found. The FBI calls it a geographic anomaly, Elias whispered into the mic, his flashlight beam cutting through the colossal pines. But the locals, they call it the stomach. The 1974 mystery. Elias stopped in front of a specific tree. There was a notch carved into it, nearly swallowed by moss. 74B. This was the spot where the Miller family vanished during a July 4th picnic. Their food was still on the plates, their radio was still blaring an Eagle song, but all 5 family members simply ceased to exist in the blink of an eye. Elias reached into his pack and pulled out an EMF meter. He wanted to prove the theory of infrasound, that low frequencies were causing hallucinations and panic. But as the sensor spiked, the sound bleeding into Elias's headphones wasn't a hum, it was a cry, a rhythmic, layered weeping, as if hundreds of voices were trying to occupy the exact same second of silence. The staircase phenomenon. As he pushed deeper, Elias stumbled upon what horror film enthusiasts call the staircase to nowhere. A perfectly preserved oak structure, no walls, no house, just steps ascending into the dark canopy of the trees. He knew the survival rules, never climb them. But Elias was exhausted. The isolation of the American wilderness has a way of shattering a man's logic. He caught the scent of apple pie and lavender, the exact smell described in the 1974 search reports for the Millers. "They're here," he muttered to the camera, his eyes bloodshot. They didn't disappear, they were invited. The tragic end. Elias began to climb. With each step, the forest around him seemed to distort, turning into a blurred oil painting. The meter in his hand melted. At the top of the stairs, there was no landing, there was a void. Elias looked down, but he didn't see the forest floor. Instead, he saw a perfect American suburb, bathed in a perpetual twilight. He saw the Millers sitting at a dinner table made of bone and pine needles. He saw the missing from 52, 88, and 2012. They all wore the same expression, eyes wide open, stitched with natural fiber optic threads from the woods, and mouths agape in a silent scream that fed the trees above. Elias felt something touch his heel. It wasn't a hand, it was a root. The following morning, the search and rescue team found only Elias's camera at the base of the stairs. The memory card was wiped clean, except for a single 3-second file. In the video, the lens pointed at the sky, and Elias's voice could be heard, not screaming in pain, but in a flat, monotone drone. "America is so big, and we are so few. The soil was hungry. Now I am the fertilizer for the American dream." Elias Thorne became disappearance number 33. The case remains cold, and the stairs, hikers say, have shifted their position once again.